Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about whiners in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. You know, the people who have been going around for, I guess the past week. For me, it's been the past couple of days. But for the past couple of days, people whining about wanting banned moves. So we're going to talk about those whiners in depth in today's video. Let's get started.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up, and they stay there.
So for the past couple of days, which I mean actually it's been about a week, but for me it's been the past couple of days, there's been this idiotic notion that's been run around that I'm told comes from Rhymestyle, that there needs to be banned moves lists. Players should have the access to create moves that are banned in their lobbies, or Dimps needs to create a list of moves that cannot be used online because we have to cater to the whiners. It sounds absolutely, and forgive me for using this word, retarded. It's no go around to describing that way of thinking. It's remedial. Let me use the politically correct term. It's remedial for people to think like that. But let me just dive right off into it. And let me paraphrase for Rhymestyle. I think that there should be moves that you can't use because any move that can beat me when I'm simply pressing square, that move ought to be taken away. There should be no moves that do anything unique. There should be no moves that can be used in powerful strategies. And if there are, I'm gonna whine about it and cry about it. Cause I'm Rhymestyle and I have 400,000 subscribers and I deserve to be catered to. End quote. But let me explain something. In any fighting game, Tekken, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, even Naruto Storm 4, you're gonna have people who are smart enough and that are a cut above the rest, that are gonna think outside the freaking box. They're gonna create strategies that nobody else thinks about, and they're gonna be powerful strategies. That's just the natural order of things. You're gonna have those simple-minded players who, you know, they think that an honest victory is pressing square, 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 occasionally pressing X, square, 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 square. That's their notion of thinking. But then you have those players who are, you know, in practice mode, testing out moves, testing out combinations, creating something new, and, you know, tantalizing, I guess would be the word. And I don't think this community, their IQ is plummeting if they think this is a justifiable thought process. Why is banned moves bad? Well, again, like I paraphrased for Rhymestyle, people would automatically abuse it. They would create their own alpha move sets, and of course with some alpha move sets there would be one or two moves that could overcome those alpha move sets. So what would they do? They would figure out what those moves were and conveniently place them on the banned move list. So if I was using Broly, and let's just, for the sake of the argument, saying that there's only one or two moves that can beat Broly, but I'm gonna automatically put those moves on that banned move list and use Broly, and then there's no way you can beat me because I'm using Broly, and the moves that would beat Broly, you've banned them. That would be too easily abused, and it just wouldn't work out with this community. It wouldn't work out in any community, and that's why none of the other communities do it. And if you, like in Street Fighter, how many years have people been whining about people spamming Hadoken? But Capcom, in their little bit of wisdom, has been smart enough to ignore these people and not ruin Hadoken. But again, you have professional fighting game tournaments, Evos and whatnot, and people spam Hadokens and nobody bats an eye because either you're dumb to get beat by Hadoken spam, or that person is really, really good at what they're doing and using and maximizing the benefit of this move. So it's just like with me. I'm the progenitor of the absolute anger strategy. And as you probably guessed it involves Absolute Zero and God of Destruction's Anger. Now, both of these moves by themselves are very weak. Very, very weak. God of Destruction's Anger, if you try to use it by itself, your opponent has enough time to go start up a cup of coffee and drink it and come back and dodge your move. That's how bad God of Destruction's Anger is. Even if you catch your opponent mid-key charge, they have enough time to quit charging key and then go into a sidestep and avoid this move. Absolute Zero, you can't stamina break into it. You can only really grab into it. You can't set up for ultimates. But when you bring those two moves together, you create a great, powerful strategy. What's wrong about that? If you're dumb enough to be overly aggressive in your melee, it's not even about being overly aggressive. If you know that I'm using Absolute Zero and you're not thinking about a counter strategy, and if you were just gonna go into this game bashing square and not thinking about what you're doing, you deserve to lose. You deserve to take the L because you're not a good enough and you're not a variety player. You stick to one strategy of bashing square. Now, I have some of those players who think they're slick and they try to throw in a back attack, and all they're doing is giving me a chance to backstep out of their combos. It's funny to me, but it's not I have a couple of slightly difficult fights that I still come out on top of because Absolute Anger is not my only strategies. It's one of my strongest strategies, but it's not my only strategy. I can go into melee if I want to. I can throw hands because I'm one of the best people at throwing hands. I'm perfection. I'm the best person at throwing hands. But I know how to mix my strategies together and, really press my opponent. Now, I'm going to talk about another strategy. You have people, I've used it, and I don't think that I'm the first person to use it, but people who use Go-Go Gum into Dragon Flash Bullet. Another case of two moves that are weak apart, but when you bring them together, they're really strong moves. Go-Go Gum is the same case as God of Destruction's Anger. You throw this move out, you can easily sidestep it. It has no tracking, does no damage, and really doesn't hold your opponent long enough to do any sort of ultimate that would do feasible damage. But when you combine it with Dragon Flash Bullet, which is another weak move, that's one of Omega Shenron's weakest moves in his repertoire. But when you bring these two moves together, they create a potent strategy. Now again, you have to set up your opponent to use these two strategies or they're simply not going to work. And you have those whiners who easily get set up in these predicaments and they don't want to face the consequences. They don't want to have people who are not dumb enough to just try to get into a square war with them. If we're going to have ban move lists, and I find it really convenient that I didn't see any strike moves on this list. I just saw mostly key blast moves that people were whining about because you have those players who are smart enough to use these moves. Let's talk about these strike moves that need to be nerfed. Let's nerf and or ban Shining Sword. I mean, yeah, we have a move that has 100% tracking, that has really, really potent guard break damage, that you can go into a stamina break from Shining Sword via a cancel. You can go from Shining Sword into Justice combination. You can go from Shining Sword into pretty much any move with canceling, with sidestep cancel. Let's nerf that move. Let's make it where you can't cancel with Shining Sword. Let's not leave melee moves out of it. Let's nerf Janemba's move, Rakasha's Claw. Let's nerf that move because it's way too good. Let's make it to where Justice Combination does 1 HP damage per kick. Let's follow, because surely nerfing moves did wonders for Blue Hurricane. It's certainly the same move that it was in Xenoverse 1, even though in Xenoverse 1 it was easily beatable. But that's the problem with this community. I asked myself before I did this video, is this really where Dragon Ball community has fallen? Is this really the way we're gonna go, where you have whiners dictating the balance of the game, where people get catered to because of their subscriber base or their followers on Twitter? Because I'm one of these people who feels like, as far as balance goes, nobody should be listened to. Nobody should have any input on balance. Now, content, if we're a community demanding more content or demanding a type of content, yes, that's where the company needs to listen to us. But as far as balancing the game and dictating how the meta will go, nobody should have that power. Nobody should have that influence. And Dimps should completely close their ears to people like Rhymestyle and friends. So I'm gonna end the video right there. I've been your perfect being, the Super Itachi, bringing you another Dragon Ball Xenoverse, I guess you can call it, rant video. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch as well for the live streams. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, keep your eyes peeled because I will start on Twitch doing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 ranked live streams for you guys pretty soon here. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be perfect, it's gonna be glorious. So I'll see you guys next time.